What's up, everybody? I'm Mike, and this is the Nexus 5. I love the way the Nexus 5 looks. It has a very minimal design that looks really clean. When you look around the device, the power button and the volume button are made of ceramic, and they feel really clicky. The back is made of a soft touch plastic. It feels really good in the hand. It feels a lot like the Nexus 7, only more rubbery, but still feels really premium. The phone only weighs 130 grams, so it's pretty light, and it's really thin. I was surprised that a phone could feel this sturdy and this solid and still be that light. It has a 4.95 inch display, it's 1080p, and has a pixel density of 445. The screen is basically edge to edge. There's barely any bezel at all. It looks accurate. It doesn't look overly saturated, but some people think it looks a little washed out. I've noticed it a little bit, but I'm happy with this screen. Something that I really liked about the Nexus 4 is also on the Nexus 5, the notification light. It's right on the middle on the bottom, and it can light up multiple colors. If you get the app Light Flow, you can set each app to whatever color you want, so you always know what you missed. When it comes to audio, the earpiece actually sounds pretty good. I like the design. It's a circular, and it kinda actually seems like it makes more sense. But when it comes to the speaker on the bottom, it sounds really tinny. If you look at the location of it, it's the same as the iPhone. So if you're playing a game in landscape mode, it's really easy to cover it. The speaker sounds pretty bad, but I've played certain games where it actually sounded pretty good. And then other games where it sounded terrible. If you use Google Now on this phone, for some reason the volume is extremely low. So I think something's wrong with the sound when it comes to the software as well. So maybe it'll sound a little better with an update, but I wouldn't expect too much. It's using a Snapdragon 800 2.26 GHz processor, 2 gigs of RAM, 16 or 32 gigs of storage, Bluetooth 4.0 LE, NFC, and finally supports LTE. The camera's been updated a lot since the Nexus 4, but that doesn't mean it's one of the best cameras. It actually takes some pretty nice looking photos, but it's really inconsistent. I'll take a photo and it looks really good, and then another photo in a couple minutes in the same lighting, and it'll come out completely different. Since it can actually take some really good photos, I believe that it could improve in a software update. It takes some pretty decent low light shots, and the HDR Plus actually seems like it does pretty well. But the main problem with this camera is how slow it is. It takes forever to focus and actually take a shot. I hope an update comes out soon to fix this. One thing I do like is photo editing. It comes with a bunch of presets that most phones have at this point, but you can go further than that. It's not like Photoshop or anything, but I like being able to use curves and other forms of color correction. They improved Photosphere a lot. It's a lot easier to get a pretty perfect Photosphere without having to try too hard. Here's a quick test of the video and the audio on the Nexus 5. The Nexus 5 is the first phone being shipped with Android 4.4 KitKat. And overall, I'm really liking KitKat so far. It looks a lot more simple and a lot more cleaned up. The folders open up and they're white and a little transparent. There's no navigation bar or status bar. And it just looks a lot nicer, and you get to take advantage of that screen real estate. The phone launcher is actually not the normal launcher. It's actually running a Google Now launcher. So that's why you could swipe over and get to Google Now. It's actually one of the pages. And what's cool is it's not like the Moto X, and if the screen is off or it's in another app, it doesn't work. But if you're on the home screen, you can actually say, "Okay, Google," and ask it whatever you want from the home screen. It's not exactly the same, but it's definitely a welcome feature. Hangouts is now integrated with SMS, which I like, but I would have preferred if they could have merged the SMS and Hangouts together. But it's not bad. The phone app has some pretty cool changes. When you open it up, it shows you the people that you talk to the most. And on top, there's a search bar. Not only can you search your contacts through it, but you can also search for local businesses. You basically have the yellow pages built right into the phone app. Now this phone has a 2300 milliamp battery. which at this point is not the biggest. They definitely could have done a little bit better with that, but a lot of people are saying that they're not getting good battery life at all, where I feel like I'm getting pretty decent battery life. I've averaged over 4 hours of screen on time every day since I've had it, and lasted anywhere from 12 to 16 hours. So, I don't know, maybe the other ones are bad and I just got lucky, but I think it's actually a decent battery. And the fact that it supports wireless charging is awesome. I love how it looks when it's on the wireless charging orb and it goes into a daydream. And it's still really easy to use because of the way the orb is holding the phone up. The price of this phone is ridiculously low. It's the same price the Nexus 4 was last year, only they dropped the 8 gig. Now it's 16 or 32. It starts off at $350. And that's an unlocked, unsubsidized price. That's crazy. To put that in perspective, the iPhone 5S 16 gig is $650 off contract. I've been using this phone for the last week, and this is the best Android phone experience that I've ever had. This phone flies through everything. Plus, since it's a Nexus device, you're always going to get the updates first. Every time a new version of Android comes out, you're getting it. Months before the other carriers and manufacturers have time to put their skins and apps onto it. You don't get any of that. If you're coming from an iPhone and you want to try Android out, I think this is the phone to try. You can get it for a good price, and it's pure Android, the way Android was intended to be. If this video helped you out at all, please leave a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you know when I have a new video. See you guys next time.
Blah, blah.